This morning I want to talk about something that comes up quite often when I'm talking to borrowers, especially first-time borrowers. And one of my questions I almost always ask any borrower is, what is your credit score like? Do you have any idea? And for some of them, they rattle it off right away. They say, my score should be in this particular area. And I always follow that up with, how do you know that's what your rate is, or what your credit score is? And what I hear back is, well, I've got this credit app on my phone, or I go to my PC and log into this website, and it tells me what my score should be. Listen, these companies that report your credit rating to you are not all created equally. And a lot of these companies have no idea what your mortgage credit rating is. And there is a huge difference between a consumer credit rating and a mortgage credit rating. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. So most companies out there offer something called a consumer credit score. And this is based on activity just about anybody can research about you, given some little bit of detail about you. They can find out, what kind of credit cards you have, what other bills you have, how well you've been paying, those kind of things. But it doesn't dive into actually pulling what's called a hard pull on your credit. So a hard pull on your credit, you may have heard that term, is usually done when a mortgage company is going to be looking at whether or not they can get you pre-approved for a loan. And a hard pull is exactly that. It's going to pull 3 different credit bureaus on you. So you've got Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's going to look at those 3 scores. And most companies are going to use your mid score. So if one of those scores is low, one's kind of in the middle, and one's high, the one in the middle is going to be the one they use to rate your credit and helps determine what your interest rate is going to be. And they can be vastly different than the consumer level credit reports that you see through some of these companies. I've seen them off as much as 100 points. I've seen the consumer-based credit score be 100 points high, and I've seen it be 100 points low, and it's almost never exactly the same as the one that your mortgage company is going to pull. So I would not rely on that as your source of information. So where can you go? Where can you get your actual credit score before you talk to a lender? Well, there are some companies out there. One that I know of off the top of my head is myfico.com. It is not a free service. You have to pay for it. Most free things aren't worth the money you don't spend, right? So you spend a little bit of money with this company, they're going to pull the same kind of information that a mortgage company is going to pull. You're going to be able to see a more realistic credit score with a company like that. This concludes part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 where we talk about credit repair.